Okay, so if you listen to the last post, which was like 2.5 seconds ago that I recorded it, a little longer than that because my husband wanted me to go look at Google's zipper page that they have for the history of the zipper Gideon's son back or something like that. Anyway, um, so the conference, the Parenting in Space 2012 conference, which is what we're there for. That's what is it. So Saturday morning, we get there like 8:30, and the funny thing is, okay, so they had like some breakfast, right? They had like all this like sugary, muffins and danishes and all this, and I'm like, okay. And then they have fruit, not just fruit, which you may or may not know. I'm allergic to almost all fresh fruit. They didn't just have fresh fruit; they had every single fresh fruit that I'm allergic to, and none that I wasn't. Which I'm just like, So I pulled my friend Christine aside and I said, if you see me eating junk, it's because I can't eat anything. I can't eat any healthy stuff. No healthy stuff for me. They had melons and strawberries and grapes, which are like my three big no-nos. Well, they didn't have bananas or apples, so until lunch. Anyway, it was kind of funny. So, conference gets started, and we do improv to start everything off with this improv group from Chicago. And it was the same guys as last year. And I went up and said hi. I went up and just said hi to them, and they recognized me, and they're like, "Hey, you're back!" I'm all anyway. That's cool. Probably because last year, like, I was really loud. Surprise, surprise. And Lindsay Crapo and Christine Moores and I were on the same team last year. And so we were like the loud group. It was funny. Oh, and by the way, the conference last year was only like 34 or 39 people, something like that. The conference this year was 90 some. So it literally tripled. So we did the improv stuff, but because we had such a large group, not everyone got to do every activity, which I was kind of bummed about because some of the activities are more challenging than others and stretch you more in different ways. Like there's this one which it's like a storytelling activity where someone gives the first line of the story and then someone gives the last line of the story and then everyone else has to fill in the story along the way, agreeing with what has already been established. And it's a really good problem-solving game, but also teaches you the A in PACE, which is accepting. And so that was kind of different. The only activity that I really got to do is the tug of war one, which is two teams playing tug of war with an imaginary rope, which, yeah, it requires cooperation, but not a whole lot of thinking involved in it. Anyway. Oh, but we had the best team cheer, in my opinion. And we were the not so blue group. And we had the best team cheer, and it went something like this. I'm not going to do it very enthusiastically. Sorry. How'd it go? Oh, rah, rah, ree. Kick him in the knee. Rah, rah, roo. We are blue. ADHD. Oh, look, there's a bird. That was our cheer. I think we had the best one. That was another thing, is we were split into groups called parent communities this year because they wanted to recreate that intimacy from last year. So there were 4 groups, and there probably should have been more than that, but 4 groups of about 20 people. And they split spouses up on purpose so that we were in separate groups, which worked really well because a lot of the spouses, there's one louder spouse and one quieter spouse, or one that's bolder, or one that has more experience, or whatever. And so they would probably rely on the other spouse a lot more if they were in the same group, whereas if you split us up, now Caleb and I don't really have this problem, but if you split the spouses up, then they both get equal attention. So that part worked really well, in my opinion. So after we got done with the improv, we went to our first breakout sessions. No, after improv, we had our parent communities where we got together and we introduced ourselves and got to know each other a little bit. And then we had lunch, which was good. And then, but again, in the lunch there were apples, which are one of my big no-nos. So I was going around going, anyone want my apple? No one did. It was sad. And then we had our first breakout sessions. And the first breakout session that Caleb and I went to together, the rest of the weekend we split up, but this is the only one we went to together. Oh no, we went to the play one together too. Was about empathy. So PACE, which is where the space comes from, PACE, P-A-C-E, is a Dan Hughes model for therapeutic parenting, and it stands for playfulness, acceptance, curiosity, and empathy. I remembered the C this time. And this was an empathy breakout session, so we were learning what empathy is, how to empathize with our children, which of course with a 5-month-old, not so much of a problem. Oh, I see you're very upset right now because you have a dirty diaper. Hope I can help you with that. But it was really good, even working with each other, of communicating with each other, saying, recognizing the person's feelings and feeling it with them. It's about them feeling you feeling with them. If that makes sense. So that was a really good workshop. The only problem was that everyone was kind of crammed. Like, there are a lot of people in that workshop. So it was kind of crammed together. And poor Billy Kaplan was like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be so popular. But it was really good. And then the one after that was the parenting baggage one, right, Caleb? Yes. Yeah. The session that Caleb went to is called Accepting Your Parenting Baggage, right? And I went to the 0 to 3 ages and stages, which I thought would be helpful for working with Baby Babe. Because basically it's how trauma that happens when a child is in a pre-verbal stage, so either in the womb or very early childhood, how that affects them later on, and how you can help older children deal with that pre-verbal trauma. And then the Accepting Your Parenting Baggage was basically like how your stuff affects how you parent your kids, and how your stuff can get in the way. That one was like totally overcrowded because everyone has baggage. The only reason I didn't go to it is because I really wanted to go to the 0 to 3 one, which was good, but I think the reason it was as good as it was is because we asked a lot of questions. The actual presentation was not as focused on what I thought it was going to be, but still got all our questions answered, so it was good. And Caleb came back with lots of good stuff from the Accepting Your Parenting Baggage workshop. So that was the first day, and it was like really intense, because everyone's meeting each other. Those of us who came last year were getting to see each other again for the first time in a year, and it was really emotional. And then, so that wasn't even the end of the whole day. We had about a 2-hour break for dinner, but it was like from 4 to 6. So we weren't really that hungry yet, and we had Papa John's, I keep saying Papa Murphy's. Papa John's pizza the night before, because we don't have a Papa John's anywhere near us. So, got a Papa John's pizza, or 2, which we had tons of leftovers. So Caleb just had that for dinner. And then we went and played cards with some of our friends, a game called Ratuki, which is really fun, but it's very fast-paced and it's fun. We went and played that for 2 hours until 6, and then at 6 we had we met with our parent communities again for a little bit, And then there's like a cocktail dessert hour. And then Michael Morris, who's Christine's husband, spoke about what it's like for him as a secondary caregiver to support his wife, who's the primary caregiver, and how important that is. And he was so honest and just, it was wonderful. And then we got to meet a couple who sought us out because they actually, the wife had been reading my blog, and apparently we had something to do with them having the courage to adopt their 2 boys. So that was really cool, and we ended up talking for about 2 hours. And then Christine and Billy, so Christine Morris and Billy Kaplan, music extraordinaires, we did a sing-along with them where Christine did her famous P song, which I'll put a link to. And then she had 2 new songs, which I'll hope she'll make videos for because they're awesome. One was to the tune of, oh no, I can't even remember. Anyway, I don't listen to the radio, so they're really good. And that was a really fun way to end the night. And then Billy sang a beautiful lullaby, which is one of my absolute favorite songs that he sings. And he needs to record it, Billy Kaplan. You need to record it and get it on MP3 so those of us who want it can listen to it whenever we want. And that was day 1 of the conference. And I'm going to stop again and do a third one.